What's up guys, Chase here at Mountain ATV MC, and welcome to our video where we show you how to prevent and eliminate flats. Alright guys, so in today's video we are talking about the Moose, the Tubeless, and also the Tube Saddle. Now all three of these are designed to either eliminate or help prevent getting pinch flats and flats altogether. Now the question we often get is which one is best suited for you and your riding style. So I'm going to go through and talk about each one. I'm going to point out the pros and cons that each one has. So hopefully by the end of this video you'll know which one is the best choice for you. So let's get to it. Alright, so first up we're going to talk about the Tubeless from NewTek. Now the Tubeless, this is going to be a great setup for guys that want to run really low PSIs, but don't count out the motocross guys. There are a handful of motocrossers that do run this system as well. Now the reason that people like it so much is it completely eliminates the chances of any pinch flat because you don't run a tube with this system. Now how it works is you're going to have this high pressure insert that's going to go inside your rim, and it's going to create two different chambers. You're going to have your low pressure and your high pressure. Now what you do is you install your high pressure insert inside, and inside there you're going to have this little inner tube. Now it looks like a wimpy bicycle tube, but this is actually the key to the system. So once that's installed, you're going to inflate that up to about 100 psi. And what that is going to do, that's going to create an airtight seal around the rim, and that's what's going to set your bead for you. Now once you have that done, to inflate the actual tire itself, your bead lock is actually going to have a valve stem connected to it, and that's where you're going to put the air through to inflate the tire. So the great benefit to these is, again, no tube, so you can run very low PSI. Now if you do catch yourself in a pinch or an emergency, the nice thing about this system is that you can actually run 0 PSI in your tire, and because of this high pressure insert, it's still going to keep the tire on the bead, so if you need to get out of a bad situation, you can do that. And also, this high pressure insert, that actually, when it's inflated, it's actually going to protect your rim from impact, so you're not going to damage your rims while you're out riding. Now there are a couple of drawbacks to this system. The first is that because it is a tubeless design, you still can get puncture flats, so you definitely want to have a plug kit when you're out riding. And the other is that this does require some modification to your rim. Now the two valve stems need to be 4 spokes apart from each other, so you may have to either drill a new hole for the beadlock valve stem, or you're going to have to enlarge your current valve stem hole from 8 millimeters to 11 millimeters. But once you get that out of the way, install is actually fairly easy with this system. So again, that's the tubeless system from NewTek, a great system, great for guys that want to run low PSIs. It also really works well for guys on the motocross track as well, so make sure you check this out. Alright, so next we are talking about the Moose. Now the Moose, this is going to be a perfect choice for GNCC, enduro, and also desert racers. Now the reason being is that this system completely replaces your inner tube, so you actually have 0 chance of getting a puncture flat or a pinch flat with this installed. Now brand new, these are going to be about the equivalent of a standard inner tube that's inflated up to 13 PSI, and you're going to get about 6 months out of these. Now the reason they're so popular is you don't need any tools out on the trail because again, you can't get any sort of flat as far as punctures and pinch flats go, and also they help absorb shock at those higher speeds and those bigger impacts, and you don't have to do any modification to your rim to get this installed. Now there are a couple of drawbacks that I do want to point out. The first is that these are pretty heavy. This is for a rear tire, and it comes in at 3.3 pounds. The other is that they're pretty difficult to install, so I definitely recommend the first time you install one of these to have a buddy or two to help you out. And also keep in mind that when you start running this, again, it's going to feel similar to 13 PSI, but that it is going to soften up over time. So that's the Moose system. Again, this is a great choice for GNCC, enduro, and also desert racers. Again, it gives you that peace of mind knowing that while you're out riding, you cannot get a puncture or a pinch flat, so definitely a choice you want to look at. Alright, so next up we are talking about the Tube Saddle from JEC. Now the Tube Saddle, this is going to be a really great choice for really all around any style or any application of riding. You're going to run a standard tube with this system, so you're going to get the same feel that you're used to with that standard inner tube, but it's going to really help protect against those pinch flats. Now how it works is very simple. You're going to have these 2 inserts, these foam inserts, they're sold in pairs, and they're just going to go between the rim and your inner tube. So it's going to create a barrier, and again, that's going to help protect against those pinch flats. Now you're going to get about 1,500 miles out of a set of these. Now there's a lot of great benefits to these. They're very lightweight, they're about 5 ounces for the set. They're going to be the easiest on the pocketbook, and because you're still running the standard tube with these, you can adjust the PSI. In fact, when I talked to the inventor of the Tube Saddle, he says he feels very confident running as low as 8 PSI when he's out running with these. Now there are a couple of drawbacks that you're going to want to consider with the tube saddle. The first, install is pretty difficult. I definitely recommend having a buddy or two to help you out the first time. You are going to have that limited life cycle, again about 1,500 miles out of a set of these, and you still can get puncture flats. You're going to reduce the chance of getting a pinch flat, but you can still get puncture flats with this system. So just a couple of things to keep in mind. But overall, the tube saddle, this is a really good system, again, for really any application of riding. You can run those lower PSIs, and you're gonna get great protection against those pinch flats. Now the last thing I'm going to talk about are these ultra heavy duty tubes that we carry here at Rocky Mountain. Now these things are, like the name says, they're ultra heavy duty. They're very thick inner tubes. You're going to install and run them the same you would any other inner tube, but because they are so thick, they're going to help also protect against pinch flats. Now some guys, if they want, they can run these ultra heavy duty tubes along with the tube saddle to give that added protection. Now just one thing to keep in mind with these, they are pretty heavy. They're actually almost close to 4 pounds for a 19-inch rear, so that's just one thing to keep in mind. But for guys that don't want to deal with any of the systems that we showed, they just want to run a standard tube but get some extra added protection against pinch flats, the ultra heavy duty tube is a great route to take. Alright guys, so that wraps it up. Those are the best ways that we know how to get rid of and avoid pinch flats. So head over to our website at RockyMountainATVMC.com to shop yours today. Hopefully I've helped narrow down the search a little bit for you. Now remember, anything over 75 bucks is going to ship free. I would love to hear your thoughts, comments, and questions on these, so make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and then leave your thoughts and comments below. If you do have any questions, feel free to give us a call here at Rocky Mountain and we will make sure we get those answered. I'm Chase here at Rocky Mountain, and we'll see you on the trails.